section, we're going to talk about how KIPIs account for sector characteristics. KIPIs manifest themselves differently for different arts and cultural sectors. To show what we mean, we're going to take as an example 3 other museums and compare them with 3 art museums and with 3 arts education organizations. We're going to take actual organizations that we have from the data and plot one relatively low performance KIPI, so around 30 on the score, one mid-range KIPI of around 50, and one high KIPI of around 60. In this section, we've mapped an arts organization that has a relatively low KIPI, so below 30, a mid-range organization that has a KIPI around 50, and one high-performing KIPI whose score is above 60. And to keep the comparison relatively simple, we're going to focus on organizations whose marketing expenditures were between $100,000 and $1 million in 2012. Here we show 3 other museums, and we plot their in-paid attendance and their total marketing expenditures, and then we show their KIPI score. The low KIPI museum spends roughly $750,000 on marketing, whereas the mid-range KIPI organization spends around $300,000, and the high KIPI organization spends around $200,000 on marketing. These 3 other museums neatly demonstrate the basis of the marketing impact measure, and that is that as the attendance to marketing expense ratio goes up, an organization's KIPI score goes up. In the art museum sector, the low KIPI organization has a relatively high marketing spend and low attendance. The mid-KIPI organization has a lower marketing spend and slightly higher attendance. And the high KIPI organization has a medium marketing spend and medium-high attendance. In the arts education sector, things look a little differently. The low KIPI organization has a relatively high marketing spend and low attendance. The medium KIPI organization has a lower marketing spend and slightly higher attendance. And the high-performing KIPI has a high marketing spend and high attendance. The key takeaway for this figure is that KIPIs manifest themselves differently for different arts and cultural sectors. Managerial and artistic expertise and good decision-making happen in every sector. They simply affect performance differently. Comparing the mid-KIPI arts organization to the mid-KIPI art museum, we see that they have relatively similar scores, 54 and 49 respectively. However, the arts education organization spends slightly more to attract fewer people than the art museum. Comparing the high KIPI art museum with the high KIPI other museum, we see that they have almost identical KIPI scores. However, the art museum attracts roughly half as many people as the other museum for just about the same marketing spend. These patterns are relatively consistent with what we saw in the averages section of the report for marketing impact. That is, other museums spend relatively less per attendee than do art museums, than do arts education organizations. This doesn't mean that there's more expertise in a high KIPI other museum than in a high KIPI art museum. In fact, other museums have to attract far more people per marketing dollar spent to earn the same KIPI as an art museum or an arts education organization. Want to see more? For a comparison of the theater, symphony, and dance sectors, visit the section of the report called Identifying High Performance and KIPIs.